somebody thank you for coming now. We are in this conference called Peter Feed My Sheep. Do we have some Peters in the house who are ready and who are getting ready to feed the Lord's sheep? We want to see, why did God create mankind? Then God said, let us make man in our own image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion. He created him. He created them. Verse 28. Then God blessed him, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is any reason why you and me that we are created for, it is in verse 28. Are we living to God's expectation? Are we doing what exactly what he thought, what he was thinking about at the time of creating us? After being blessed, God said to them, number one, be fruitful. That one we might have tried a little bit. He said multiply. That one we done something about that. Feed the earth. Some of us, we have tried to feed the earth. Subdue it. That is still a question. Are you subduing the earth? But also it doesn't stop there. We are also commanded, not requested but commanded, to have dominion. Somebody say dominion. Dominion. Somebody say dominion. Say it louder. Dominion. Dominion. We are supposed to have dominion. We were created to have dominion. You and me, we are created to have dominion. What is having dominion? It's from another word, dominate, having authority over, dominating. Are you dominating? Are you having dominion over this earth? I'm going on. This is still an introduction. Have dominion over the fish. When he saw me amidst a lot of fish, I had read the they are saying that before you have any dominion over anything, start with the fish. Have dominion over the fish, over the birds of the air, and over every, somebody say every. Somebody say every. Say every. Have dominion of the earth. Now this one informs me, is this not enough to tell you that you were created to have authority? Is this not enough to tell you that you were created to rule? Is it not enough to tell you that man was created to control? What are you controlling? Ask your neighbor, what are you controlling? Where is your dominion? Who do you control? And what are you controlling? And where are you controlling from? And in what area? In what area of life? Created to rule, created to have power, created to have dominion, created to control. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is running into a mess because God's people have neglected this assignment. We have neglected such a great assignment. Today, it is over. That which would have controlled, it is controlling us. The things would be ruling over, they are ruling over us. I'm going to shock you in the next 1 minute. Get ready. Man was, this is God's call. This is why God created man. Tell your neighbor, this is the reason why God created man. They created you to dominate. What are you dominating over? Don't be surprised when things are going astray. If at all you are not participating in this role. How many of you are born again? How many of you are saved? How many of you are Christians? How many of you are social leaders in your community? How many of you are chairman from where you come from? I don't care whether you're a pastor or not a pastor. I want to know how many of you are LC1 chairman. Because about born again, I saw every hand is born again. About Christian, everybody is a Christian. But how many of you are LC2 chairman? How many LC3 chairman we are having here? How many of you are LC5 chairman? How many RDCs do we have? Bishop Nathan. See where the problem is coming from. The world is in problems. The church is besieged. The church is almost captured. Bibles are kicked out of schools. Why? The church is not in control. The church backed off. The church left everything to the world. The God is fearing people have ignored this call. Can I shock you? Have you ever created anyone to be saved? I told you I will shock you. I'll put you right later. Let me ask my question again. Have you ever known God originally never created anyone to become saved? It wasn't said in his original plan, by the way. Did you say that God said, let us create man in our own image to become saved? Was it there? Was it there? What was the original agenda? Create man to do what? Somebody said to have dominion. Bishop, are you trying to say getting saved is a wrong thing? Bishop, That is a good thing, but that is a plan B.
That
is when the vehicle had fallen into an accident. God had to come up with plan B, but the vehicle started when we are heading to somewhere. The bus started when we are heading to somewhere. Imagine if we boarded the bus here, heading to Kampala, and on our way to Kampala, we get involved into an accident. Are you following? We get involved into an accident, and our bus overturns. I'm showing you the exact picture of where the church is. Bus started from here. A bus started. For the board, we are all in the bus. Bus overturns at Masaka. And by God's chance, we got some injuries. No one died. And then we call for help. And then help comes. The breakdown comes and they tower us our bus. And as we continue to stay there, one day goes by, then we happen to cook our food and eat from the accident scene. Then the vendors who are selling pancakes, popcorns, michomo, barbecue, they bring it around us. We buy and eat and continue to stay there. And there is need to elect some tents and some grass houses so that we can have shelter there. Then one day goes by, 1 week goes by, and we are there at the accident scene. Then because we survived the accident, we compose some songs about the survival. Then some others give birth from there, and we even start some businesses there. We become citizens at the accident scene because we survived the accident. That at the time of starting the journey, we had a destiny. That is where we were going. This accident thing just came along the way. I want to remind somebody here that it wasn't the original agenda of God. It came because the driver of the bus, our forefather Adam, drove recklessly and the bus overturned. Adam drove recklessly. Then there was a need for plan B. Then this project of salvation came in. How we can be saved. Then we got saved. But the question is, do we still remember where we were heading to? The purpose for the journey was to go in dominion. The purpose was to go in leadership. Church cannot even preach any more than that entire Bible. There you go. There are countries where you go. Some pages of the Bible are prohibited right now. You preach it, the police is waiting outside to arrest you for what you have preached. Blaming the devil. And we are busy chasing demons. Kicking demons. I'm making endless prayers. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a difference between authority and prayer. That which would take you one day to decide on, just in case you are positioned where the power is, may take you 10 years to pray about. If you are not where the power is. Can I repeat what I said? That which would take you only one day to decide upon may take you 10 years to pray about. Just in case. What
will take you one day to decide?
It
may take you 10 years to put it right when you're in prayer. You're just praying for it.
Can I give you an example? At one time, Israel, the Jews were in trouble. A man by Haman who was in power had craftily secure documents, and he happened to buy or to purchase all the Jews that were in Babylon. And they were due to be slaughtered during the days of Mordecai. All Jews were going to be slaughtered. Thank God for one thing. There was a man by the name Mordecai who saw this coming, and he prepared a younger girl by the name Esther. He mentored Esther and strategically positioned her where the power was lying. Esther went and lived and slept where the power was. Are you listening? And when Mordecai learned about the message of Haman, when he knew about the plan of Haman of slaughtering all the Jews, it only took a phone call that my daughter Esther, do you know we are in trouble? We are about to be killed, all of us. This might even include you. Please do something about it. Esther told him that give me only 3 days. Somebody said 3 days. Give me only 3 days. I'm going to set it out. I'm going to sort it out. And Esther went and prayed 3 days. Then he accessed the power because she had access to the power. He had access to where the power was. And Esther told Mordecai, relax, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. In less than 1 week. Bishop Nathan, you don't know how many Jews were going to die during that time. If Mordecai had not prepared, mentor, and placed Esther strategically in a position of authority. Which we are failing to do today. Men of God. Men of God. Men of God. We are doing God a disservice. The church of God has been trampled on. The church is coming from far. Is following from far. I mean, the church has been suppressed globally. We are losing it all.
Beyond that, you to be fairwa.
The
Kanisa can no longer speak on its own.
The
church is under besiege.
We are crying to the government. We are crying to the parliament. We are praying for them to make some laws that can protect our faith. The question is, who do you have there? Who did you prepare? Who did you mentor? Who did you send there? Church, who do you have there? Who is your Esther there? Even in your LOC, you call it what? LOC, that is the local community authority.
Yes,
even in your local community authority, the village authority, church is not represented there. Because we are undecided. We are undecided. We have not even reached a consensus whether it's a good thing to do or a bad thing to do. There are still arguments amongst us. But is politics a good thing? I'm seeing a lot of devils there. Now that which you call a devil, that which you call a devil, it eventually has had the power over you. It has made the decisions over you. Before you know, a letter is issued to your church to silence the night prayers. It's already signed. And they are saying, Pastor, you are making a lot of noise there. We are tired of your noise. No more night prayers. Signed with 9 signatures. And none of the signatures is from your church. Because none of your members is even on that committee. You never even mentored and prepared somebody to go there and at least represent the elderly, represent the women, or represent the youth. You don't have even a representative on that committee. When it's happening, when the election is going on, we back off. We back off. We go in our bed and sleep. We don't want to participate. We say that is the devil's thing. You know, those are earthly things. The things that you are calling earthly, they are already controlling you. Because you are still in this same earth. You are still in this same world. You are still here. They catch up with you. These things catch up with you.
The things you call of the earth catch up with you. They decide for you.
Go and ask our brothers and sisters elsewhere in the world. Church is under besieged. But it's not God's fault. Neither is it the fault of the world. It's the fault of the church. The church neglected to mentor. The Mordecais of today has neglected to mentor the Esthers to go in positions of leadership to take charge and to take control. I am not saying that it's a pastor who should become a member of parliament. Personally, I'm very busy. I have no time to go in the parliament. Bishop Nathan is extremely busy. He may not have time to go in the parliament. Even yourself, you are very busy. You may not become the chairman of the district. But still, nobody has told you to do so. Mordecai has never become the queen. Mordecai wasn't the queen, but she prepared a queen. Mordecai was not the Esther, but he prepared an Esther. Whom have you prepared? Whom have you mentored? In your whole community, in your church, how many members of the LC1 you are having there? About LC2? How about LC3? How many members of parliament came from your church? This forthcoming election, in 2 years from now, we are electing again. How many members of parliament should we expect from your church? Ask your neighbor. How many members of parliament will come from your church? How many should we expect coming from your church? How about on the LC5? Country LC5. How many should we expect coming from your church? How about on LC3? How about LC3? How about on LC2? How about local council 4? How many should expect that you are sending on the LC1? By LC1 or LC bangayi
n'omulokole tumuvaako netulondo mutamiivu omulokole waffe netumusuuza akalulu.
Do you even know that we don't elect our fellow believer? We elect someone who is a drunkard, who is a heathen, who doesn't know God.
But we have never gotten the right interpretation of that. That's why we have backed off. Sit back. Leave it to the world. Let them run their own world. We actually call it their own world. Yet we are living in that same world. No wonder they have chosen to mess it up. No wonder they have chosen to mess it up. Because they don't believe in your God. Some of them and the majority of them are sons of the devil. Are you there? Are you there?
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, what they called us to do, is it what we are doing? What the Lord expected us, is it what we have done?
How comes that the devil's children understand this better than God's children? Bishop Nathan, do you know how many times I've been overwhelmed? Do you know how many times I've been overwhelmed? That whenever election is up, you just wake up in your community and all political posters, the yellow one is Muhammad, the red one is Muhammad, the yellow is Mastura, the green one is Muhammad, okay? The other color again is Isma. Have you ever taken a trouble to know how all this happens? Have you ever taken trouble, you pastors, to sit down and deliberate and discuss and analyze and try to know how this happens? Waliyo tutomutawana okwebuuza amannya gano gajja getya okuba ayajjidde mu red Muhammad, ayajjidde mu yellow Masituula, ayajjidde mu green ate naye ye Bumbakali. Baagakoze batya? Bakikoze batya okuba nti amannya gonna gaabwe?
How did they do it to find that all names are in one religion?
Do you know how they do it? For them, they are not like you. They are not like you.
tebali nk'imwe.
When they come for their prayers,
kuba kuyisa omushaara zaabo
after prayers,
banyuma y'okushaba
they shut down their doors
enyigi bazikinga
and sit down
baza hansi
and this
bagaanira ihanga eri turitware tuta,
how to take over.
ihanga eri turitware tuta.
Always those names are fronted from the same source.
amazina ago niganigansibika emwe
In their community,
omu kyanga kyabo,
in their community,
omu kyanga kyabo
political parties are almost nothing. What matters is their religion.
political party tayina ensonga hati eddiini niyo kumataringa.
Either way, they don't lose.
omulingo gwona yerokere etarabiremu gulini neerabamu.
I know another camp that does that.
nimanye endiijo kampa ekukora ekyo.
I've only told you one.
nabagambira yemwe.
The ones from the Saudi Arabia, from the Arab countries, that's how they do it.
okuruga omu baharabu abasiraamu niko bakukikora batyo.
That's how the Muslim do it.
abasiraamu niko bakukikora batyo.
The other camp, you can guess it, which does it exactly.
kampa endiijo nobasa kugiteeba ekukikora etyo.
The other camp, globally, there is global another camp, almost is having the same strategy.
global munsi yoona hariho endiijo diini eine ekintu nikyo kimwe.
Do you want to know the camp?
nimwenda kukimanya egyo diini.
The gay. That's how they do it. It is only the church that is sleeping.
ekanisa yonka niyo gwejejeire.
The church has no strategy.
ekanisa tayina enkora ery'omuturo.
But it is the church that was told,
konka ekanisa niyo bagambiire
if you're going to keep things in order,
woori okulinda ebintu omu buteeka
have dominion over every creeping thing.
mutegeke buli kyona ekirikugyendesa enda ahansi.
The moment the church chose to sit back,
ekanisa kuyakyiremu kwesitamira
things are falling apart.
ebintu byashoba.
We are the one that is have been subdued.
nitwe bayo mubategeka.
Don't be surprised.
otatangaara.
Don't be surprised.
otatangaara.
Not long from now,
tibiro bingi kuruga hati
you may be told what to preach from your Bible and what you will not preach.
nibaza kugambira eki oine kuburra omu bayibuli yawe n'eki otiine kuburra.
It's already happening in South Africa.
omu South Africa kyatandikire.
It's already happening in the Scandinavia countries.
omu mahanga ga Scandinavia kyatandikireyo.
There are chapters of the Bible which you're allowed to read in public,
hariho eshuro omu bayibuli ezibagamba ngu oshomere omu bantu.
and there are those that you are prohibited.
hariho n'ezi ezibagamba ngu otakwatayo.
You can't blame them
tobaasa kubacwera rubanja
because you are not from the same camp.
aboka tumuga omu ihema ndio
You're
rimwe.
not for the same agenda.
tumura agenda ni yemwe.
You don't serve the same kingdom.
tumukuhereza bukama nabo bumwe.
That is their agenda.
niyo agenda yabo.
That's their choice.
nuko kusharamu
They
kwabo
are serving their kingdom.
nibahereza obukama
You
bwabo.
can't blame them for their strategy when for you have no strategy.
toine kubacwera rubanja habw'enkora yabo iyo wotine yawe yoteireho.
Today in Uganda,
erizo mu Uganda
there is a bank that has just come in.
hariho banki etandikireho
It's called Islamic banking.
nibagyeta Islamic banking. mwagiwulire egyo
It's already approved.
baheze kugihamya
Very soon it's starting.
juba ine kutandika.
Okay? Do you know how it's going to operate?
nimumanye kwera akore.
You'll be able to get you'll be able to get loans which are called interest-free loans.
nimuje kuba nimutunga loans ezitariho magoba.
The condition is you have to be a Muslim.
ekiragiro neki oine kuba omusiraamu.
You don't know how many people they are going to. You don't know people. You don't know people how many people they are going to convert.
hora no hatari kwenda sente noija kuhurira omuntu yagamba ati munsaramure nyonyenda sente.
Bank emaze okujjana mu Uganda.
The bank is already here.
Bagiyita banka y'abasiraamu.
It's called the Islamic banking.
Okufuna looni bagaba looni.
They give loans.
Okufuna looni mu Islamic banking.
But to get a loan in that bank,
One, zino looni tozaayo interest toteekamu magoba.
these loans are free. You don't put in interest.
Tozaayo magoba.
You don't put in any interest.
Toteekamu interest.
You don't put in any interest.
Condition yokka
The only condition to get that money,
okwata ku ssente zaabwe oteeka kuba nga oli musiraamu.
you must be a Muslim.
Those of you who are adult in the 70s,
imwe babiri bakuzire mu myaka ya nshanju.
We had a Muslim leader here, a Muslim president by the name Idi Amin.
Tukaba tuyine president abakumweta Idi Amin ali omusalamu.
He was behind a campaign of Islamizing this country.
Akaba ali mu rukwero rwo kuhindura ihanga ryo n'obusalamu.
And what he did,
Eki yakozire,
he empowered all leaders of Muslim in rural areas,
akakwata abasalamu yabahamano mu byaroko
in every community,
omu buli kyanga kyona.
and they would organize parties in the names. These parties were called Mauredi.
Ezapate mukazoro za Mauredi.
And all what they used to do
Eki babiri bakora
is to cook big saucepans of rice, pilau.
okuteeka ebisafuriya bya piraawo.
You don't know how many people they circumcised because of Mauredi.
Iwe omuntu obatwalire nanko bakasaramura abantu
You don't know how many people they converted
bakahindura abantu
just
abasalamu.
because of rice,
Ekyabahindure niki?
rice and meat, pilau.
Piraawo.
Now today we
Eriizooba
are not talking about rice and meat.
eriizooba tusira ha piraawo.
Right now we are talking about money,
Hati ntugamba cash.
interest-free loan.
Tariho magoba. Abantu bakusaramuka mwari.
How many people are going to convert
Abasalamu twaza
in this struggling economy?
warara kwe oyine roni yabusha.
How many people are going to convert?
Abasalamu twakutunga bangahi.
You're gonna enter there
Noija kutahamu
and you say, I need a loan,
obagamba oti niyataga yakasenti.
and then they say no problem.
Bakujya ngo ataronshonga.
What's your name?
Amazina mbakweto
Matthew.
ninye Matayo.
I say, you are mistaken.
Hona tuwahaba
But the loans are here.
konka roni njijo
If you don't care,
wotakufayo
go to that room.
deba kashenje kako hariya.
The mwalimu is waiting for you.
Mwarimu
He
akutegerize
is having a razor blade and everything.
aina kajereta ke nemusyo
Circumcise you.
iroka
When
kushabe
you get here with 1 week, you come back for the loan.
kora akire sande emwe ojo twara kasenti.
How many Ugandans are going to survive that?
Abanya-Uganda barabona icyo nibangahi.
Are you going to blame them for their strategy?
Mbe noza
Now, after sending the fire, after sending the fire,
iwe urra ye bari mu rogo gusindika.
we may not need to do something more than sending.
Mbeno omurro ye bari gusindika konka tugire icyo twakorayo.
Thank you for sending the fire.
Omurro ye bari gusindika
But we may need to think about something that is better than just sending fire.
konka barokoraga n'amazima tushitame turonde yenkora erengera kweta omurro
This thing is called strategy.
enkora ndogombi afaya konka.
I'm seeing all these different wicked groups all over the world.
Nindeba groups ezitali zimwe na zimwe mu nsi yona embi.
What they are doing better than us
Ekibakora okutukiza
is no other but strategy.
tikindi kyona kureka enkora.
What is the church lacking today?
Ekkanisa nebirwa kiriizooba
It's called strategy.
nibagyeta enkora y'ebintu.
We're not going to start to blame people for their strategies when we don't have one.
Otatandika kuvunaana abantu abo enkora yaabo iwe otiineyo neegi
What is your strategy?
eyawe neeha.
For them, they have mentored the leaders and they have sent leaders in positions of authority, and they are strategically positioned there, and they are delivering on their agenda.
Bo bakozera abantu babateekaho abiine enkora babateeba ekanisa babateeka omu myanya y'okutegeka bayo nibategeka
They have mentored.
kandi babakoresi
They have taken children to school.
batwire abaana omu mashomero.
Today,
Eriizooba
go in the Law Development Center at the university.
irokoza university RDC
Four students out of 10
abeegi bana ahari 10
in the Law Development Center.
hariya RDC
4 students out of 10.
bana ahari 10 abeegi
They are sponsored by the gay community.
ebyanga nibyo bikubashagika bikubashomesa.
Gay community. They are sponsored by the gay community.
Nabasponsoringwa ebitingwa ababusiyaga
4 out of 10.
abaana bana ahari 10.
Then another 4 is sponsored by the Islam community.
Abandi bana nabasponsoring bashashurwa basalamu.
How many are there for church?
nebanga yembashashurwa ekanisa
How many out of them the church has sponsored?
nebanga yabe kanisa ine shashura
Do you know what they are trying to do?
nemecho bageze okukora
They are trying to make lawyers
nebageze okukora baramuzi
that will defend them tomorrow.
nyencha kare babagwira omubuzibo abana
They are
batonganirire
trying to make judges
bayene bakoraho abaramuzi
whom they will find in courts every time they are dragged to court
abo barashanga mu makoti budakika bashanga batira mu
and
makoti
judge in their favor.
kandi baramura omushango mukunda kwabo.
Church, who do you have there?
Ekanisa oyine yoha
Who did you mentor?
okakuzoha
Who did you prepare?
okatebekansoha
on your budget, on your annual budget as a church,
aha budget yanyu kekanisa y'omwaka
as you are planning for the whole year.
mwana mutebekanisa omwaka gwona.
Tell me how much money is allocated there to sponsor Christian children that are unable to pay their tuition. What is your budget? Send mekagwezo tegesewo zogamanti, this amount of money, we are using it also to sponsor a child that want to go to school.
Aha budget yanu nyoreka ey'omwaka ey'ogamba otaka sente akatukatira arobaju akaratwara bano mu ishomero bakashoma budget yanyu ariho sente zinga.
Church, abamwe bemutegese baliwa.
How many have you prepared and where are they?
I already said you can't blame people for their strategy.
Nanagambe ngotakachura abantu turubanje abwenkora yabo
When you don't have one,
kandi yotine choyine
where's your strategy?
enkora yawe rahi.
Your enemy, your rival, your competitor is doing something and you are doing nothing. How are you going to blame him for that?
Owokuhayahayana nawe hine chayo nakora iwe ori omukusinde kafaya noza kuchikorachi.
Now, Bishop, allow me to say this.
Bishop nchiza ngambechi
I've been in the church for the last 40 years.
emyaka 40 ndiyo mukanisa
And I've been involved in soul winning.
kandi ndiyo mukuletera abantu mubukama beije
And I've been doing crusades.
kandi twe ninkora enterane
And I'm still doing crusades.
kandi nkiyo ninzikora
But this is the church's strategy.
konka eki niyo nkora y'ekanisa.
Church's strategy, we are only about winning the souls.
Ito turi ha kintu kimwe abantu bajonwe
Which is a good thing.
n'ekintu kirungi
Which is a good thing.
n'ekintu kirungi.
But where do we get these souls from?
konka abo bantu bokwenda bajonwe nebarugahi.
This is our energy to know abantu bafe.
This is where we get our people from.
We go in the marketplace.
Tuzo mu butale
That's where we get our people.
niho tukwiye abantu.
We go in the streets.
Tuza nguudo
That's where we get our people
niho
from.
tukwiye abantu.
And that's all.
Tutwaheza ariyo gundi mwanya
And that's all.
twaheza.
The result is
Ebirukorogamo
we're having big numbers,
twine abantu bingi
but not in decision making positions.
konka bari omu myanya iyo butakora kushara mu mbwenu ababisi.
I don't know whether you really don't understand
Where
my concern is coming from. Yetunona, tupetunona mukatale, netujuzao. We go in the markets and feed our places.
Hurra nituza nguudo tureta baruhire abensi yatamire tupachara.
We go in the markets.
Tuzo mu butale
We go in the markets and feed the
abayawira
place.
masiko tupachara.
Yes, it's not so bad because God has already gotten a soul.
Tikiri kibi ruhanga yatungayo umuntu yajano konka n'umuntu wakikaki.
But the question is,
Ekibuuzo
at the time of making decisions,
ahashayo koro kusharamo
critical decisions that will govern the country,
enshonga nkuru eratware ekigenderwa kikuru ky'erihanga.
who do we have there?
Reba abantu bawe n'abakatare n'abangudo noza kusinduka oha kuri parliament.
Bameka bategera byenjogera.
How many are getting the point?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Nemonchenga
The result is
ebirarugemo
we have quantities.
katubuze kibuuzo eki
Let us ask this simple question.
n'obuli aha
How many you're here?
n'olwo olina ekirooto
You have a dream.
2016
Enkumi ibiri na
oli
mukaaga.
nooza kwesimba
You're going to contest
oba nka LC1
whether as
oba
LC1
LC5
or
oba
LC5
member of parliament
or member of parliament.
otakimusi omukono ako ndakugwimusya
Don't lift up your hand,
n'oba olina
please.
ekirooto ekyo
Who has that dream?
honestly
Omazama
mulimba
nemubeyiha. You are lying.
nimwenda kuza America,
you just want to go to the US,
muri musaba visa,
you're demanding for a visa.
wali anonya kugenda kufuga,
No one is looking to go and dominate.
kyali mukogera ekyo.
That's what he's talking about.
kandi obuno twimuka mukashe tuza kubakora campaign,
And we wake up in the morning to do campaigns for you.
tutekamo na sente tubasagika,
We even put in our money and support
kandi bamara
you.
kusitamayo
And once you're there,
night prayer bazikinga.
they close the night prayer services.
Byenjogera mbitegera.
Are we getting what I'm teaching?
The issue we are talking about here,
Ensonga eti ntugamba waha
it is not about how many you are.
tensonga murabanga hihi.
It's not about how many you are.
Ensonga tumurabanga yeti ensonga.
It is about who do you have where.
Ensonga n'omuntu kyowoine omwanya guha.
Ask your neighbor, who do you have where?
Mburiza muranwa n'omuntu kyowoineyo kandi ari mwanya ki?
Bishop, many bad laws are about to come in our parliaments.
Bishop, ebiragiro bingi bibi birakye kwija mu parliament zaitu.
Many bad laws that are about to be enacted in our parliaments.
Ebiragiro bibi ebirakye kuba bikirizibwa mu parliament zaitu.
The laws that you wouldn't want happen.
Ebiragiro bitakwenze ngu bibeho.
Very soon they are about to legislate about abortion.
Turakye kuba twikiriza abakazi kuya mwenda.
Very soon they are about to legislate about abortion.
Ekyo barakye kuba bakikiriza.
I know when the church will hear that,
Ekanisa kerakyurire
they will go in prayer and fasting.
fire zabo tuzatandika.
Lord, we break,
Fire, 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 fire.
we break that.
Ekiragiro kyashora ori omu fire.
But are you in that place where the decisions are going to be taken place?
Ayo bashoboriza ekiragiro hono ineyo omuntu ayanaza kusindikayo fire katariyo.
Who do you have there?
Oineyo
Who did you mentor that is going to say no?
okakuzoha owatumire arahika akagamba tinga.
Who is believing the way you believe?
No hari kwikiriza nkuko ori kwikiriza.
Even those few members of parliament whom we know to be Christians,
Nabo bamemba ba
whom we say we have so and so there, we have so and so, they are not even ours.
Naba tukweyeterera tuineyo nankogo tuineyo nankogo agargo mu kanisa yawe.
Right now,
Eshaheji
as I'm talking,
ahindu gambira
they are drawing a policy.
bayine bateka henkola.
Are you aware?
Nimukimanya
The Lokodo policy, the religious and faith-based policy is already on table. It's on the
policy
floor.
ya Rokodo yashira ameza.
You remember the Lokodo policy?
Nimuyishike nkola ya Rokodo.
Some of us we participated and we fought it 5 years ago.
Bamwe muri itwe tukacyenyegeramo twakirwanise emyaka 5 ehingweri.
Thank God that during that time Lokodo died, we prayed and he died, and Shem of Yakagawa also died, the one who was an architecture, and Lokodo died. But now, sometimes Satan does not die. Lokodo died, now the demon is up again.
Ora omwe nomwe faya nekora Rokodo mukamusindikira yagenda. Mbwenu konka umuzimu gongo stand yabasa kufa konka demon. Omoyo tukasa kufa.
So they already legislating on church.
Hata bayende bakitisa kanisa.
They want to create a board
Nebenda kuhanga akachiko
that is going to legislate and register.
okuhandikisa.
And remember, in the other earlier policy,
Yishko mpoliseria
they were saying a pastor with no degree will not be allowed to pastor.
bakani bagamba ngu pastor tine degree atarabata akatuti.
I don't know how many of you. Nathan is saying is finished.
Ewe kugira ngo kiragiriyo kikarabaho ngo atine degree atazakatuti. Bishop Eshaja kabera ringa
I
yi.
don't know how many of you here are having a college degree. How many of you are having a degree?
Ori wamazumo ine degree katurumukono ko.
How many of you are having a degree?
Oine degree yawe.
Now imagine if it happens, how many churches are going to be shut down?
Hatiteka teka nkacharabaho amakanisa nangaye
How
kubarachinga.
many of you are having a diploma?
Nibango ine diploma
You're having a diploma.
babiri.
But look at the rest of us.
Tabaho n'amakanisa ngaga kuchingwaho.
But do you know what the problem is?
Konkono mayisi bayikiri
We cannot blame them
totubasa kubachwera rubanja
because they are doing their work. They are doing the work of their father. Neglected to represent your father.
niwe yangira kujwekera.
It is you who has not understood the importance of being represented.
niwe yangira kumanyesha ngabo enchi n'umugasho go kujwekera ikindi kintu.
Bishop, I don't know what was going to happen on the body of Jesus Christ the day he was killed. When his disciples all had run into hidings, he's called, are you clapping? Okay, you can clap. Listen. He's called a secret disciple, but he was there waiting for a time like that. Well known, have access. He has got access. He is well connected. He has money, strategically positioned, has access to the powers, waiting to do such. The Simon Peters, the Bartholomews, the John, who else? The Matthew, they were all under their bed. Even when they would feel a rat crossing, they would think they are finished. In situations like that, it took the Joseph of Arimathea. He knows where to go. He knows who to talk to. He speaks their language. He's one of them. All what was needed is for him to knock the door of the king and say that, sir, I'm Joseph. I hope you know me better. I work from around this place. I understand you had the plans to hang this man. And I think all what you needed is finished. Can I have this body, please? He's speaking their language. He knows the law. He knows every one of them. He's known to them. He's among them. But Pastor Peter, Pastor Matthew, Pastor Jacob, full of Holy Ghost. So you can see even Jesus was very wise. Jesus was very wise. He knew that such a time may come. I need the Joseph of Arimathea to be strategically positioned where the power is. Mordecai was very wise. He knew he cannot become a queen. He can't go in the palace. He's busy with other things. But mentored an Esther, prepared an Esther, strategically positioned an Esther where the power is. Ask your neighbor. Ask your neighbor. Who do you have where? Who do you have where? Who do you have where? Who did you prepare? Who did you mentor? How many MPs should we expect from your church in this forthcoming election? How many members of parliament should we expect from the church? How many LC1? LC1 chairman, LC2 chairman, LC3 chairman, LC5 chairman, councillors, women representatives, youth representatives. How many have we prepared? Amazingly,
ekyokutangaza
we are still looking at all that as a devil's thing.
iyo nogamba oti leka otangambira ebintu bya sitaani.
No wonder.
Otatangara nonda kutiyo moyo nongambira byokutsimba.
No wonder.
Otatangara
The devil has taken it over.
sitaani akyegarurire
And the devil is using it today.
sitaani nakikozesera izooba.
In many countries you are now told,
omu mahanga mingi
get the Bibles out of the school.
nibakujya kukwata bayibuli zisohoza omu mashomero.
We should not see the Bible anymore in the school.
tutagaruka kora bayibuli nemo mu ishomero.
In some countries,
omu mahanga gamwe
a teacher is not allowed, however much she may be a Christian, she's not allowed even to lead prayer at the parade of a school.
omushomesa takubaasa
I
nakwebembera
believe in no country prayers are not allowed anymore.
eshara tizakiikirizibwa okwo
In schools,
omu mashomero
Bibles are not allowed.
bayibuli tibakuziikiriza.
What do you think is next?
ekirukurataho nijyamu niki?
What do you think is next?
ekirukurataho niki?
They are aware
nibakimanya
that give it only 20
ngu
years.
kihereza emyaka 20 yonka.
They know the type of generation they are trying to come up with.
nibamanya omurembe ogw'obu bagyezaho okukuza.
They are coming up with a generation who knows nothing about the Bible,
nibakuza omurembe ogutiine ekigukumanya bayibuli
about God.
ebikwatagene na ruhanga.
Which generation will be entirely secular.
omurembe ogwo niguza kuba gwijwire ensi.
And for your information,
kandi okukumanyisa eki,
those of you who have ever read a document that was put together about 70 years ago, the one of a woman called Alice Bailey,
imba bashomere ekyandiko kya Alice Bailey.
is called the 10-point program of Alice Bailey.
nibakyeta 10-point program ya Alice Bailey.
I may not be certain at the how many years have so far gone, but the document is available on Google.
yiwaza google ekyandiko ekyo nokireeba.
The 10-point program of Alice Bailey.
10-point program of Alice Bailey.
That's one of the points. That's one he emphasized, that if you're going to deliver this generation, deliver the people free from God.
mwamuri okutwara ogu murembe abantu mu biyaha ruhanga.
The woman was so wicked and very heathen.
omukazi akaba mubi kandi ayijwire
By the
ensi.
time she said all her stuff,
ayiye agambira ebintu byali byona.
nobody believed in what she was saying.
tiyine yikiriza byabe nagamba.
Everybody thought the woman was crazy and nobody took her serious.
buri omu agana mangu agwirira ro byagamba takumanyisa.
Today,
onkerizo
the whole world is implementing Alice Bailey's 10-point program.
ensi yona eyo neteekwa mu nkola 10-point program ya Alice Bailey.
Kicking Bibles out of the school was one of them.
amabayibuli g'omu mashomero kika kiri kimwe muri ebyo.
Delivering the society from God, they call it delivering the society from God, was one of them.
ruhanga mwiyo mu bantu kika kiri kimwe muri ebyo.
Abortion was one of them.
okwo abantu abakazi kuyamwenda kika kimwe muri ebyo.
Homosexuality was one of them.
ebisiyaga ni kimwe muri ebyo.
She brought that as a solution.
akakireeta nk'ekigarukwamu.
She said that well, people may not want to there are many people that would want to have sex but not necessarily want to have children.
ari abantu abakwenda kwegiita kushemererwa
That's what
kwagati
she
bakwenda
said.
baana nikyo yagambire.
Therefore, there is no reason why somebody would get a child ng'ate abadde tamwagala. Tewaliwo nsonga lwaki omuntu afuna omwana ng'ate abadde tamwagala.
There is no reason why someone should have a baby yet he never wanted one.
So she emphasized and recommended homosexuality as an alternative.
yajja tembwena katuteka ebisiyaga biyambayamba abantu
That
nkabo.
one can have sex without pregnanting nobody.
omuntu ayegiita na mutayi we atine watu ekiri.
By the time she said that, people never see any sense in that.
Ahiye
But
akigambire.
today they are seeing a lot of sense in that.
ayiye akigambira abantu bakaba batakukira mu makuru konkerizo mbajja ngu omukazi akashikire.
Buuza neighbor akulinaanye nga tumaliriza.
Ask your neighbors, we conclude.
Neighbor akulinaanye mubuuze.
Ask your neighbor.
Buuza neighbor akulinaanye.
Ask your neighbor.
Ewuwo tusuubireyo bameka abagenda okuvaayo okukulembera Uganda.
How many should we expect from your church coming out to lead this country?
Bameka abavaayo nga bagenda ku lukiiko lwa LC1.
How many are going to be on the LC1?
Bameka abavaayo nga bagenda ku lukiiko lwa LC2.
How many are going to the council LC2?
Otegeseeyo ani?
How many have you prepared?
Bishop Nathan,
Bishop Nasan.
the next time you invite me here,
Korogaruka kunyetaha.
I'm going to talk about the 7 spheres of influence.
Niyishagamba bichweka mushanju ebyenamana g'okutegeka.
Because we have heard about the Great Commission.
akaturira mu mukuru
Great Commission.
mu mukuru
Matthew 28.
Matayo 28
Go ye into the whole world.
mugende munsi yona.
Up to now,
no kwisana hati
it seems the church never knew where the world is.
ntirebe kikanisa tekumanya ensi ye bagamba hera hi.
They sent us to go into the whole world. We went in the church.
Bakatusindika kutugenda munsi zona ito twahendera tuninkayi amakanisa.
For your information, the word is not found in the church.
ensi yona teri kushangwa mu kanisa. Bakatorezo munsi zona
Church or faith or religion is just one of those spheres of influence.
ekanisa nemu myanya yokutegekeramu.
You may call them mountains.
nosa no kuzeta enshozi.
Church is just one of the seven mountains of influence.
ekanisa nemwe anshozi mushanjo z'obutegeki
But
bw'amaani.
the world is divided into 7 spheres of influence.
konka ensi ebaganisimu bicweka mushanjo by'okubanya omunonga.
Of course, faith, where we are now, is one of them.
okwikiriza itore aha ni kimwe muri byo.
But another mountain is called politics.
konka ekindi orundi rushozi nibaweta butegeki.
I don't need to convince you more that there is a great population on this mountain called politics.
tinkayetaga kugambira ngo hariho abantu nyamwingi abari ruriyo rushozi rukwetwa ebyobutegeki.
There are so many people found there.
hariho abantu bingi.
You're not going to make them know about Christ until you go on their mountain.
torobasa kubagambira ebya kristo kwisa waza rushozi rwabo.
The third mountain is called sports.
orushozi rwa kashatu ebyemizano.
Do you know how many people are found on this mountain called sports?
nomanya n'abantu bangaba kushanga hariyo rushozi rukwetwa ebyemizano.
Are you aware that these people on this mountain called sports, they are not going to church anymore?
nimukibanga abantu bari rushozi rw'emizano tubakizana mu kanisa.
They are not the one to come to you.
bone benda
They
kwisha
are not the
hori.
one to come to you.
bone benda kwisha hori.
They are not the one who will come to you.
tebo barija hori.
You are the one to go to them.
niyo raza yibari.
You are the one to come up with a strategy on how to meet them where they are.
niyo ine kurgaye nenkora okubabwabwa no yibari.
Bishop Nathan,
Bishop Nasan
there's something crazy I told Jesus Christ some time back.
ari kintu cyo kugwira ari kinagambire Yesu myaka miringo
You know
himwe.
what I told Jesus?
meche nagambire Yesu.
I wish he could accept it, but I know it's the crazy thing.
Yesu nkahino cyo kicereza konka ne cyo bugwira ro.
Guess what I said? I told Jesus,
nkagambira Yesu.
if you can listen to my strawberry prayer, would do this for me.
kuwa kure gishara yanjye y'obushema ekyo kakinkoreye.
I looked at the TV
nkareba TV
and I saw the many people when Arsenal and Man U are playing.
iwe zakikupokerize cyo baremba twara ekire cy'abantu bare bari ya mupira ekireki ariyo finals ekireki.
I saw the football pitches, the stadiums, and I see thousands and thousands of people
nkareba bishayi bipakira abantu
that are filling
nyamwingi
these stadiums.
abizwire bye bishayi.
And they are in countries where church are being shut.
bariyo mu mahanga aho kanisa kingere.
In Europe, the church has been shut.
omurubaraye kanisa kingereho.
People have no time to go to church anymore.
abantu bakenekere ko kuza mu kanisa.
Church is very boring.
ekanisa nebowa.
It is only football which is not boring.
akapira niko
When
katakubowa.
football is going on, the football pitches, the football stadiums are full.
akapira kandi kagenda mishe bishayi babijwire.
Church is boring.
ekanisa nebowa.
To them,
aharobo
Maradona is more important than Jesus.
Maradona kumurebaho nakira Yesu.
Messi, if you put Jesus there and you put Messi and you ask them who should I kill, they tell you kill Jesus and leave our Messi.
ewe kwata Lionel Messi muteka okwata Yesu muteka hariya obabuzo Messi na Yesu nyito bagamba ngo Yesu ogwakwisira no
To them Mbappe is another god already.
ha ubare Mbappe ne bare barahanga bwiri.
Now what did I pray about? What did I tell Jesus?
mbene Yesu nkamugambira ki.
I asked Jesus,
nkagamba nti Yesu
why don't you come back here
ahabo kinyaburo otagaruka
and you spend only 3 years on earth?
okamara hansa emyaka eshatu.
But this time when you're coming back,
konka tuwano ija
come through Europe
yijora bire barayoko
and disguise yourself and become a wonderful football player.
oyeteke mu kishani cyo kugayo hazo oyehindura umuzano w'umupira.
And let one of the teams buy you without knowing they are buying you.
haza yichereza timu zo kugure batari kumanya ngo niyo bari bagura.
And kick the ball and score all the goals. Don't allow anybody to do it better than you. Be the only one with the highest goals.
teba magoro hatakagira kapira kakurabaho baniyo waguma noteba.
And as they are busy celebrating you,
baba yone bakwimusa higoro
after 1 year or 2 years,
banyuma kagumani ngemyaka ebiri,
introduce yourself to them that I'm Jesus Christ, the Son of God.
beyanjore otamazina ganje ninye Yesu ature nateba magoraga.
Do you know how many people Jesus would win in Europe?
no manye Yesu abantu barabwabwa no kubaraya.
But now, Jesus may not listen to that stupid prayer of mine.
Yesu nabasobutawura shara nkeje yobushema.
But do you know what we can do?
kokana mechita kubasa kukora,
We can sit down and start ask ourselves questions.
nitubasa kushitamatandike kwebuze buzo.
What are we doing about this mountain called sports?
urushozi rw'imizano tukarukorera
Who
ki?
do we have there?
tukatunga yohoko.
Have we prepared and mentored some younger boys, God-fearing boys who can go? Listen, have we prepared some young boys who can go on this mountain and influence from there? Have we prepared as a church some good footballers who can go on this mountain, play the soccer, but talk about Jesus? Play the soccer, talk about Jesus. Who do we have there?
tuineyo butosha ntobeta bishime muzombe mpira muzomukapira ngwa mwe tuineyo muntu ki otutendekire ayakubasa kuzaka tujwekera akatera kapira arukurabyaho na Yesu,
Because they sent us to go into the world.
ahabo kuba katutebekasa kusomunsi
And that's where the world is found.
kandi nsoko ne kushangwa.
It's not the word that will come to you, it is you to go to where the world is.
ensiye kwisha hori niyo kugenda.
We need to fight poverty in the church.
tuine kurwanisa obworo mu kanisa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to fight poverty.
ntwetaga kurwanisa obworo mu kanisa.
Pastor,
iyo murisa
you will enjoy that work
noija kushemerera omuri ogwo murimo
if your people are not poor.
abantu bawe babatari boro.
You will enjoy that work.
omurimo ogwo noija gushemererwamu. Bishop,
Have you ever known
warakimanyire
that in Africa,
ngo mu Africa
pray for me, I need school fees.
nshabira obwana bwanjye bugaruka ishomero.
No, school fees, they don't pray for it.
fees tubakugishabira,
We work and get money and take our children to school.
netukora tutunga sente tutwara abana bito mu mashomero.
Pray for me, I have flu.
Pastor nshabira senyigendize kubi.
Pray for me, I have flu.
nshabira senyigenda kubi.
Flu wouldn't constitute a need to make somebody to come in a counseling line because of flu. That would have been only 10,000. Go there, buy a drug, treat your flu, than making a pastor to wear down, to come old because he has to pray for flu.
oyo noribwa omunda nokimanya ngo kuribwa omunda amabendezo nebasa kutambira waza omulayini waza kuhikara pastor wamusya kare drug shop gurayo mubazi gumire okeri.
Apostle Mitala went in Jinja,
Apostle Mutara kaza Jinja
and after the conference with pastors,
orutera rwabarisa kurwabaire
the pastors brought a woman who had a child,
abarisa barita omukazi abaine kana
and they said,
bamugira
this woman has a child and the child is full of demons, very stubborn demons.
ogwo mukazi ijana kana konka kiine emizimu kandi emizimu eine akavuyo.
These demons even speak,
emizimu egyo nokugamba
they
negamba
even talk.
yo negamba noko.
They told Apostle Mitala that you wait, even before you leave, the demons are going to talk.
bagambira Apostle Mutara iyo wumara atakaherezo noza kora yapandika kagamba
And of course they talked.
emizimu kwe kagamba
They started to and they wanted Apostle Mitala to lay hands on this child,
beba kandi benda Apostle Mutara atekwe ngarari yo kumwana
chase out these demons.
abinge egyo emizimu
And he told them,
yabagira
I'm sorry, I'm not going to pray.
musasete nashaba shari egyo tinjini
What disturbs this child?
ekyo nkiteganisa okumwana
It requires only 10,000.
nikyetaaga omutwaro
Only
ogwo
10,000.
omutwaro gumwe gwonka omwana atereri
And he pulled out the money.
yayo omutwaro
He gave them 10,000
yabahereza omutwaro
to go and buy mabendazo
bagende bagure mapendazo
for the worms.
ahaboko bendeke netabora netogota
And they bought mabendazo,
bagura mabendazo
and he told them to give it to the baby.
mugihereza kerere
And the baby waited from there.
bebi yazale yayishitamira.
Only 30 minutes later,
Eddakiika 30
the baby pooped a huge worms.
bebi akasinde k'ekintu.
And that's where Jesus sent us to go.
Kandi okwo Yesu n'oyo yatwohererize kuza.
When he said that to go ye into the whole world.
Obu yajja tumugende mu nsi zonna.
It's just unfortunate
N'ekyobusaasi
that we are busy rotating around one mountain.
tuli aha lushozi rumwe.
Oh, media, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yebade.
Yes, we omitted one mountain, it's called media.
Orushozi rumwe rubakweta ebyamahurire.
You all know how powerful that mountain is.
Mwina numanye orushozi orukuri.
Media.
Media. Ebyamahurire.
Somebody say media.
Media.
Are you doing anything on that mountain?
Ahari orushozi rw'ebyamahurire yine ekyo nookoraho.
You know,
TikTok toro,
You know how-
Facebook toro, Twitter toro, WhatsApp toro, Instagram toro, Twitter X toro, hatori yao, radio toro, TV toro, mpapura z'amahurire toro. Ese moto yene.
olwo olusozi gwe bw'olulagajjalira,
Once you take yourself on this mountain,
yes, Setaani tagenda dulagajjalira,
the devil will not go slow with it,
era yali mu kulukozesa.
and he is using it mightily.
Are we doing anything in that?
Hinde kyoyina olukoraho orushozi orwo.
Are we doing anything on that mountain?
Orushozi orwo yine kyoyina olukoraho.
You may not have a TV station,
Nobasobola kuba otiine TV,
you may not have a radio station,
nobasobola kuba otiine radio,
but at least you have that smartphone.
konka oyine esimu yawe egyo.
Use it, let that be your TV station.
Gikozesebe TV yawe ezaho oyogambe bakureeba.
Bishop Nathan,
Bishop Nasan,
you don't know what Apostle Paul would be doing today if he was living today in these days of social media.
tokumanya ekintu mwa Paulo yakubaire nakora kuri yaba hariho erizooba hati ngo butwine amaradiyo n'amativi n'ebindi byona.
If he was able to write all those letters even when most of the time he was in prison,
Karabe yabaasa kwandika embara ezo zoona kandi akire kuona akaba ari omu kihome.
what would he be doing if Apostle Paul lived in these days of technology?
Ebiro ebintu mwa Paulo akabaire nakora ki kuri yabaire natura mu tekinology.
Church,
Ekanisa,
fellow pastor,
abariisa,
let's attack these mountains,
enshozi ezo leka tuzirombe mu izina lya Yesu.
but with a strategy.
Egyo niyo nkola eyi tukwetaaga kukozesa.
I had promised you that when I come back,
Na nabaraganise nkundagaruke
I'm going to talk much about financial independence.
nija kuba nimbagambira oku wakubaasa kugira sente zonka omuntu. Yaturaganise kukikorera izooba,
I had promised to do it today.
yakiraganise kukikorera izooba njara yanazagambaho.
Men of God and men and women of God,
Abashaija n'abakyarakazi ba Ruhanga
we need some independence.
nitwetaagayo okuba tweyahweire.
But if at all we're going to get this independence,
Twatiyo okutunga independence yaitu egi,
let us not just sit down.
leka tutakashitama bushitama hansi.
Let each one of us do something.
Buri omu omuri itwe gira eki wakoraho.
Pastor, as I conclude,
Iyo muri isa wenda okuhendera
you need money.
noyetaaga cash.
How many of you need money?
Nibangayo noozeetenga,
You need money?
noyetaaga sente,
Are you sure you need money?
nokimanyisa noozenda.
Money is hiding only in two things.
Sente zeshekire omu bintu bibiri.
You're either selling a service or a product.
Noba oine eki oine nooguza abantu ninga abantu eki bakukuguraho.
Please talk to your church members
Gambira abarokore baawe
to stop praying about money to come from the ceiling room to fall upon them.
barekere okushabira sente teziragwe nk'enjura.
These fake prayers that we have done in the last 50 years,
Ezi eshara zitiine muhoho ezitushabire
where we call money to come into the pocket,
ayi wabirozeeta ninkweta z'omu nshaho yange.
we may need to reduce them.
Eshara ezo wishemu zikyendeeze.
Let's tell people the truth,
Abantu katubagambira amazima
that if you want money,
ngu wanonda cash,
find something and do it.
gira eki waronda otandike okikore.
find something and do it.
gira icyo washeruza kandi ukikore.
I said the money is hiding in two things.
najya nsente zashekera mu bintu bibiri.
You either selling a product
hine icyo kuguza
or selling a service.
ninga hine icyo kuhereza abantu.
Short of that,
waba utakoze icyo
money is still very far away from you.
sente ntuzaguma nuzuroto mberoto.
Let's tell our people to be hardworking.
abantu bitwa tubagambira gukora munonga.
And Bishop, if our people are going to be hardworking,
abantu bitu babariya gukora munonga,
we have to start to lead by examples.
twine okwebembera tugicyo kureberaho.
Let working start with you, pastor.
omuri satandika okore.
Find something that you can do.
gira icyo waronda utandike kukikora.
I know you are very busy with church.
nimanya uri bize n'ekanisa.
I know many of us, we are calling ourselves full-time ministers.
bingi ntweyeta barokora bahereza full time.
Full-time. Somebody say full-time ministers.
gambo tomuherezo wa full time.
Sometimes, Bishop, I look into this and I'm shocked.
bishop omwe nindeba ekintu ekintangaza.
I keep asking myself,
ngoma ninyebuuza
what fool are we talking about?
nitugamba hari full eha.
Because in English there are two different fools.
ako mu rujungu harimu za full zibiri.
There is a fool with double O and a fool with U double L.
hariho full eyi bakumamanyisa omushema kandi hariho full ekikwamamanyisa eyijuru.
Ask your neighbor, which full-time minister do you want to mean? School is a fertile ground.
ishomero n'ensi
Are we
eyikubatebekanisa.
doing anything on this mountain?
hiine ekiriyo nitukora aha rushozi oru.
Church, do we have schools?
ekanisa twine amashomero.
Have we started schools?
hiine amashomero agu twatandikireho.
To your church, do you have a nursery school, a
aha kanisa
primary,
yawe oyineho ka nasare,
primary school, or a
oyineho
secondary school?
primary, oyineho secondary.
Are you doing anything in this industry on this mountain called schools?
hiine eki oyine okora hariyo orushozi orukwetwa obwegyese.
Or you have left it in the hands of the bad people?
ninga orushozi oru rw'obwegyese orusigira abantu ababi nibo biine amashomero.
Are you aware what is happening in many schools today?
ekyo nikiba omu mashomero mingi erizooba.
The devil is already exploiting schools.
sitaani yahirize kurumba
The devil
amashomero.
is already doing a lot in schools.
hariho bingi ebyo nibaho mu mashomero.
A person like Bishop Nathan,
omuntu ka bishop Nathan
at his age,
aha myaka yegi,
it's not so easy right now to convert him to any lifestyle.
eshaaha ekigumire kumuhindura okagira ekintu kyokyo wamuteekamu ekyokwenda atandike.
He has his own fears.
aine obwoba bwe.
Tasobola mugamba n'okumusiyaga nakkiriza.
hati nk'ogu n'omutandikira oti nkusiyage n'otandikira.
Nebwotekawo $1,000,000 ayinza naye bw'ononzita.
nobu wakumuteera $1,000,000 kajya tuyisheme kora nsiyage okantagura nintorehe.
He's scared, he can't give in.
naatiina tobaasa kumusiyaga.
But a younger man who is still discovering things at the age of 10, the age of 12, the age of 15, he's there to discover things. He will not say no to anything.
konka omutsigazi omuyaka 15 wamuteeraho $1,000,000
That's why they don't want to waste time with you, the adults. They have gone for children.
niyo nsonga abo ekimba bakuze tebabineho nsonga kabakishuma omu baana.
But those you are calling the children today, tomorrow, they are not going to be children, the decision makers of the society.
abokweta abaana erizooba n'abaana konka nyenkya kare mbo barabe nibakora okusharamu okw'ebintu ebine
Buuza akuliraanye nti oyinayo essomero.
ask your neighbor, do you have a school?
Oyinayo essomero.
ntale, do you have a school?
The fifth mountain, as I
orushozi rwa
close,
kataano,
the fifth mountain
orushozi rwa kataano
is called economy, the business world.
business.
That's such a huge mountain.
oru n'orushozi ry'abantu.
Are we there?
hiine abutwine
They are in 40 days of fasting.
hurira beki bakumanya n'eki
Are you sure?
itu turi omu 20 by'okushaba n'okusiiba.
Fasting is good.
okusiiba nikurungi.
Fasting and prayer is good,
okushaba n'okusiiba nibirungi
but may not control the society.
konka okusiiba kwawe okwe noza
It
kutegeka
may not give you influence on the society.
nohara kumanya omu kyanga ngu oyo noosiiba.
Church, are you there?
ekanisa muriyo,
Church, are you there?
ekanisa muriyo.
Are we doing anything in the marketplace?
hiine ekiriyo nitukora omu butare.
The sixth one
rwa mukaaga
is called the family.
eka.
Somebody say family.
family,
Say it louder, family.
family,
Family.
eka.
Say it louder, family.
kigambe munongo ti family.
Have have you ever known
warakimanyire
that everyone that is living today
wena riheri izoba
came through family?
akija kuraba omuka
All living people, all living creatures, I mean, abantu bonna, all human beings, they come through family.
abantu bona bariho bahurire nibaruga omu maka.
Family is another good mountain.
Amaka n'orundi rushozi.
Are we strong in our families?
Omu maka gaitu tuhamire gye.
Have we communicated the right messages to the children?
Abaana baitu tubahereza obutumwa bushire.
Yes, the world is waiting to influence them.
Ensi bategereza kubatwara.
But before they influence them with this different stuff,
konke takabatwire n'ebintu bitari mwe na bimwe.
have we done anything?
Hiine eki twakozereho.
Have we communicated to them?
Hiine eki twabagambiire.
Have we influenced them?
Hiine eki twabahishizeho.
Have we used that opportunity to tell them the right things and the wrong things?
tukozera akigishako kubagambira ebintu ebishire nebigwire.
I don't want to go deep into that
tingwenda kukitaha buziba
just because of time.
ahabwakaiti.
But ladies and gentlemen,
basebo na banyabo,
for not to be, let all of us be responsible.
leka twena tugire obuvunaanyizibwa.
When it comes to your children,
kyahika abaana baawe,
give them the right information before the world give them the wrong information.
baheereza obutumwa bushire obiine kuhurira ensi etakabahaiti.
Mentor them,
bakuze,
talk to them,
gamba nabo,
teach them.
beegese.
Imagine if all of us, every one of us became responsible.
teekateeka twena bari aku twakugira obuvunaanyizibwa.
All the bad people you see out there in the world,
abantu babibona borukureba omu nsooko
they have ever lived in a family.
baratwireho omu
Imagine
family.
if their parents did the right thing at the right time.
teekateeka buziire boku bakoze ekintu kikirabwire bushikire.
Are you there?
muriyo
Are you there?
muriyo baitu.
I'll tell you the last one when you are standing up.
kambagamba orushozi rwamwe rutwemereire.
Gamba nti mukama mpaye amagezi agakola sente.
Say, oh Lord, give me the wisdom to make money.
Mpaye amagezi agakola sente.
Give me the wisdom to make money.
Emikono bulungi. Yesu.
Say, oh Lord,
Mpaye idea.
give me an idea.
Amagezi.
Give me the wisdom.
Okutegeera.
Give me the understanding.
Mpaye amagezi agakola sente.
Give me the wisdom to make money.
Neetaaga sente.
I need money
Nsobole okuweereza.
that I may serve you.
Erinnya lya Yesu.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.